hi. I've been recording some videos. None of them have come out, obviously. It's been a couple months, I think. Well, and now I'm just gonna get into kind of like a mid-year reset, I guess, because I'm currently hating this bookshelf. I don't know. It just makes me mad. And then this one's fine. I think this one looks good. And then the bottom two shelves that have books on them, we're not gonna worry about. So I'm gonna redo this one. Not really sure what I'm gonna do with it. This one kind of has like a color scheme because most of the books are blue or gray. I mean, not blue, black or gray. And then ignore that bottom shelf. But as you can see, this one is color coordinated. So I have to decide what exactly I'm gonna do. Cause I don't know, like, do I want to keep the colors? Do I want to go by height of the book? Do I want to go by like hardcover, genre? There's so many things that I could do, and I'm just not sure what I want to do. So let's get into this like book organization, and we're gonna kind of reset in this vlog because I kind of need that for this channel because, you know, I haven't really been updating. I do have a Hunger Games vlog that I've been working on for a while. I know Hunger Games, the new one came out quite a long time ago, so I've been working on it for that long, right? What's wrong with me? But yeah, I've been working on that. Haven't really made any progress in Sunrise on the Reaping, so I don't know if we're gonna talk about any like books necessarily in this vlog, like anything I'm reading, because most of the stuff I'm reading is on my Kindle, so I guess I'll briefly mention those things. I'm finishing up one book that's part of another vlog, so I'm not going to talk about that one, but I have restarted reading Bunny by Mona Awad. The first time I read it, I didn't really understand her vibe, so I really did not like Bunny. And then I read All's Well, 5 stars, and then I read Rouge. That was also pretty highly rated. So I was like, you know, since I gave these ones like 4 and 5 stars, like, should I reread Bunny? Because I used to own the book, and then I gave it to the local bookstore, used bookstore, so I don't have it in my possession anymore. But so I have it on my Kindle. I got it from my library. The Hold Fund came in, and it's a pretty short book, so I was like, yeah, I could probably read it pretty quick. So I've been reading that for like a couple days, and I'm like about halfway through it, I believe. So I guess I'll keep you updated on that as I work on my bookshelf. Bro, I don't even know where to start. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just ugly. I don't even think it's a color thing. I think it is the heights of the books, and then I have a couple like middle grades on here that I don't know if I necessarily like want on the shelves, or like I want them showing like in videos and stuff. So I might move some of those off. Maybe I'll do it by genre, but each shelf is a different, each shelf is a different genre depending on the amount of books I have in that genre. And then I think each shelf will be color coordinated, kind of like this one. But this one is not by genre, it's just books that I have gotten recently that I haven't been able to fit on the shelf yet, so I guess I could move those now. And we're not going to talk about those ones, so just ignore that. Maybe I will talk about the books that I've hauled recently. You know, I hadn't really thought about that, so let me set up my camera. And before we get into bookshelf organizing, we'll do a little mini book haul, and that'll be our book haul reset. I don't know. This vlog is just gonna be a reset all around because I feel like I need that. I know I already said this. I feel like I need that. And yeah, I just need to get back into the swing of things, you know? All right, so I got 15 books to get into. And some of them I don't quite know what it's about. Some of them I just bought, you know, because impulsivity. You know. But then some of them I've been eyeing for a while, so I was like, treat yourself. So, to start, we have The Employees by Olga Raven? This was a book recommendation from one of the local indie bookstores that I go to. And it's a sci-fi, and I think it's just like very short, brief. I don't even necessarily think they're stories. I think they're just like 1 to 2 pages of these like stories told by employees of this company, and it's sci-fi. I've heard it's like very different from like a normal book, and what also drew me to it was the cover. It's very interesting, and I like it. It's very like minimalistic, and you know, I kind of vibe with it. So I don't even remember when I purchased this. This stack has been sitting there for a couple months, so this has been over a couple months. So yeah, I haven't wanted it to record, you know? So anyway, it's the first book. And then the next 2 I got together at the local used bookstore, and they were pretty cheap. And I'm really grateful that I found them there, because I was like, I need more of this series. And it's a manga. It's called Blood on the Tracks by Shuzo Oshimi. And it's essentially about, this is volume 3 and 4. And this is essentially about a mother who's like very obsessed with her son. And she does pretty crazy things to keep him safe, pretty much. It's kind of like Psycho, Bates Motel, that kind of thing. That's kind of vibes I get from it, but I also feel like part of this is like semi is it autobiographical? I think like something that the author went through is kind of like woven into these books, so that's kind of crazy. And I remember reading these, and I enjoyed them. So, but you know, I realized I never picked up the 5th volume, so I guess the 4th one didn't really grab me as much or something. I don't know, but you know, I'm gonna continue the series. It's not that long, so I'll get it eventually, you know. And then next up is this really pretty edition of Ring by Koji Suzuki, and it's like, it's an exclusive edition, I guess, and it's got these like white noise sprayed edges on all sides, and it's a VHS tape. Ring is like, it's a horror novel that I feel like it's more well known from the movie, and it's about, I believe, I don't remember exactly. I've actually never seen the movie before. I just know about it, you know. But what I do know is that like this ghost girl comes out of a TV, and then she comes and like haunts you, and then she like eventually kills you after like 7 days or something like that. So it's very, I feel like it's beloved, you know. It's an older book, older movie, so excited to get into this because I really do like horror. But like I said, this stack that is right in front of me that you can't see has been sitting here for a while, and honestly haven't been doing that much reading. So what have I been doing, really? I don't know. And then next up is Anne Liang's I Hope This Doesn't Find You. And this is, I believe, Arrivals to Lovers. Young adult romance, contemporary romance. I read This Time It's Real by her, and I really liked it. So I was like, I kind of want to get another Anne Liang. The covers are stunning. I believe this is like a duology too. I think this one is like from the girl's point of view, and then I think the other one is from the boy's point of view, maybe. But I think it's about this girl who's like, it's either she's written letters or she's written emails, and then one day they get sent out and they're like hate emails or letters pretty much. And it ended up going to this guy, and then that's all pretty much. But it sounds pretty good. I really liked This Time It's Real. I liked I feel like I have another one of her books as well. I don't own This Time It's Real because I read it on my Kindle. But I think I'm gonna get it eventually. I don't know. But yeah, excited to read this. I'm probably gonna say that a lot about these books because I do want to read. It's just my life is so consumed by so many things, and there's just too much for me to do. I have to work 3 jobs. I have to exercise some horses. And I do that for free. It's not part of my job. And I know that's kind of like, wow, you get to ride horses for free. I know. Like, I'm really grateful for that opportunity. But also, it's kind of tiring to have that responsibility, even though they're not your horses. So, while I do enjoy riding them, it's also just a chunk out of my day, because, you know, I'm kind of there for like a couple hours, you know. So I have that, and then the jobs, and then I just finished school for this semester, so I don't have to worry about that, fortunately. I think I'm just gonna be focusing on work and my mental health, I guess. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. Well, we kind of are, but you know, what is this? Oh, we're here for the haul. So next up is The Unworthy by Agustina Bazterrica, and I believe this is about a nun, and she finds herself in some kind of cult. Personally, Tender as the Flesh was okay. I didn't think it was bad, but I didn't think it was good either. There's just something about it that rubbed me the wrong way. And I feel like that was the point of the novel, but also, like, I didn't rate it highly, but I'm like, reading about religion and stuff like that is very interesting to me. I think there's a new book coming out. Well, I think it's already come out at this point. It's called The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. That one's also kind of, it has like religious themes in it too. It follows a brother, and I really want to read that one too, because I'm kind of interested. I know these are like fictional religions, but it's also interesting to kind of delve into that side when I myself am not religious, really, you know? So, yeah, Unworthy. And then this one I do not own, but I was gifted it by my friend. She wanted me to read it, and I have yet to. I've had it for a very long time. And it's The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. I believe this is like a thriller? Mystery thriller? That's all I pretty much know. But I am interested in reading it because I think she read it and she liked it, so yeah. And then I have Yolk. Why did I say it like that? Yolk? Who's this? I don't know. Yolk by Mary H.K. Choi. And And I got the one with their hands meet up. It's really cool. And it's about two sisters, and I believe one is like really sick. So they're kind of like estranged from each other, and then they come back together once the one sister learns about her other sister's illness. And it's kind of like a coming of age type thing, I believe. Yeah, this one sounds pretty good. I feel like this is like sun damage or something, because the back is pretty yellow and then the front is like very light. Am I crazy, or did someone leave this out in the sun? Anywho. And then I have this really pretty edition of Lonely Castle in the Mirror by Mizuki Sujimura. Sorry, I had to read that and like think about it for a second. I bought this book, and then the last book I got from the local used bookstore. And as you can see, this one is new. And guess what? It was only $16. And it's originally $28. So not too shabby for me. Good job me for spotting that. I believe this is very like Ghibli-esque. I believe it's about this group of kids and they go into a mirror and there's like another world there or something like that. You know, stuff happens over there. But yeah, I'm excited excited to get into it eventually when I start reading again. Anyway, and then I have this cover does things to me. It is The Rose Bargain by Sasha Peyton Smith. Pretty sure this one's probably not gonna be very good because it's like romantic-y about fae and also like girls getting chosen for something particular. I don't know, but I really like the cover. Never judge a book by its cover unless it's a very pretty cover, right? So even if I don't like this book, I will most likely keep it just because it's so pretty. Unless I like hate it, then I'll probably get rid of it. But yeah, I don't really know much about it other than that, what I said earlier. Yeah, that cover is stunning. And then everyone, I feel like, has been ranting and raving about this duology, and it is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig, and it's a romantasy. I'm not like quite sure like what the overall plot is, but it's this girl, she has like a voice in her head, and I think, is the voice the romantic interest? But a lot of people say that this series has like a really cool magic system, and it has to do with like tarot cards, and like if you have every tarot card, then you're like all powerful pretty much. So you know, I want to read this, but I don't know. I've just been having a really hard time reading books lately, and I haven't really wanted to read, you know? So I mean, I've been reading, but like not as much as I was like the first 3 months of the year, you know? So kill me. Anyway, this is All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy. Rest in peace. I believe he is passed now. But this is like, honestly, not really sure. I read very briefly on the back. It's a modern day Western, pretty much. And I ride horses, so I think anything to do with like the Wild West or horses, or like living with horses, living on the land, I feel like that stuff's pretty interesting to me. So personally, I don't think I would ever do that. Maybe I'd want to try it, but I don't know if I would like do it for my whole life, you know? But yeah, nah. I got this pretty cheap. I think it was only like $4 or something. No idea. But I got this at a different used bookstore, and like all their stuff was pretty cheap. And I was like, wait, this is kind of good. So yeah, got that. And then recently-ish, I read, what's it called? Iron Widow. And so I had to get Heavenly Tyrant by Sharon J. Zhao. I loved Iron Widow so much. And you would have thought that I would have jumped right into this, right? Well, I didn't. So I believe this was like meant to be published like a year or two ago, and then it kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And then I think I'm not sure if it came out this year or like late last year, but I'm glad she finally got the book out, because a lot of people have been waiting for it, including me. But yeah, this is about giant mechs fighting alien-like creatures, pretty much. I don't think they're aliens though. I think they're just big monsters, pretty much. And yeah, the women in this are very oppressed and used and abused. So, kind of goes into that. The character's very morally gray, but she's great. She's badass, honestly. So yeah, I feel like Iron Widow ended on a cliffhanger. So, as I've said many times, excited to get in this. And then I have this book that came out earlier this year, which is Water Moon by Samantha Soto Yambao. And I think this is also kind of Ghibli-esque. It's about this girl whose father owns a shop where you can, I think, sell your regrets. And then he gets like lost somehow, and then she has to go into the shop with some guy, and then to find her father, and then, you know, stuff happens. But this cover is stunning. And then the naked cover is also really pretty. And then it also has a reversible dust jacket too. I'm like, damn, you guys really went all out for this book. Rightfully so. So yeah, that's Water Moon. And then the last one I have is a book I've already read. I did talk about it a little earlier. It's Rouge by Mona Wad. I rated this one pretty highly. It's not that I didn't enjoy it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as All's Well. I really liked All's Well. This one was good though. It's about this woman. She's a woman. Her mother passes away, I think, and she discovers that she was like part of this like skincare, like wellness kind of group, and she kind of gets sucked into that, and then she becomes all about it too. So yeah, I'm glad I have an edition of this book that is paperback, because I needed it. And I have, where is it? There it is. And then I have this stunning edition of All's Well too. I feel like this one was only in I feel like that one was only in the UK for a while or something, because I don't know. I found it at the independent bookstore, which was a really good find, by the way. So yeah, my Mona Wad collection is halfway complete. If I do like Bunny and want to get it again, I guess. I just never thought I would enjoy it. I never wanted to like get back into it, you know? And I'm not like hating it right now. I wouldn't say I'm loving it either. I'm just enjoying it more because I know that Mona Wad writes these crazy stories that don't make sense. And I understand that now, so I can kind of go into that, because this Bunny was my first Mona Wad, right? And like, I didn't understand a single thing about it when I read it the first time. So once I got into All's Well and Rouge, I was like, wait, that's the whole point. That is the whole point of these books, is to not make sense, pretty much. It's like, leave it up to your own interpretations, you know? So I'm kind of going into Bunny with that mentality now. So yeah. Okay, now we're gonna get into organizing these shelves. Adding this book stack in there and then adding these in there. I kind of like how this looks. But these are all not the same genre. But it does look cool. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll do that with each shelf. But I'm really not sure. We'll figure it out. So, this is the state of things. You know, I really don't know what I'm gonna do with all this. Like, what am I supposed to do? Should I do what I said before? Girl, I don't know. There's just a lot to consider here. I think I'm gonna do what I said before, and I'll just do by genre, and then also color coordinated to a degree. I also have like trinkets around my room everywhere that I kind of want to include on the shelf. For example, these two things. They're super cute. Maybe these, I don't know. They're kind of small though. So I'm like, I could, but do I want to? What? Then I also have these ceramic pieces over here. Ignore the pumpkin doesn't count. The ceramic pieces, you like my sticker? Anyway, I have those things. Yeah, I think that's like about everything that I want to put on the shelf. Yeah, so let's get into the organizing. Alright, so I know it probably doesn't look that much different, but this is the left bookshelf for now. It took a little bit of finagling, let's be real. I think probably my favorite shelf up here has to be the horror one. I wish Christine was the same size as the other Viking editions, but we won't get into that. So, well, now I gotta go to these. I really gotta dust these shelves off because they be kind of nasty. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. This is day 3 of this now. I don't want to do this. Because this is, oh jeez. This is that's the current state of things right now. So, it's gonna be a little rough. But we're gonna get there. Eventually. Also, am I wearing a jacket and I have my fan on? Yes. But you know, it's kind of cold in here and this is, no sleeves. Now it's getting a little cold. But I don't want to turn my fan off because then I'll get hot. Do you see my dilemma? Plus, I don't know, it's kind of cozy. Sorry if I look a mess, but you know, I got like maybe 3 hours of sleep and something a little rough happened last night. So I'm not doing too good right now. So anyway, so this week I got paid, correct? So I was like, I'm gonna get myself a cat because about like a week ago or something like that, I found a cat in my backyard And then the next day I was like, oh, that same cat is here sleeping on the mat outside in my backyard. And I was like, if that cat's here, when I get back from work, that cat's coming inside. So, lo and behold, the cat was there in the backyard when I got back from work. So, I brought the cat inside. I had all the things you need for a cat, you know, food, water, litter box. I haven't owned my own cat, but since my last cat passed, but I feel like she was more a family cat than like solely mine. So I've never like owned a cat by myself, you know. But I got close enough to this cat that I was able to see her tag, and then it had a phone number on it, so I was like, well, I should probably text this person. And they did end up responding, and then the next day they picked up the cat. So I was kind of sad about that. So that kind of made me like, it's like, wait, because that like whole day I was like, you know what, this isn't too bad. I could go for a cat right now, you know, because my parents' dogs make me very happy, and even though they're kind of my dogs, they don't live with me because unfortunately I'm too busy to own a dog. They're a little bit more high maintenance than I'm able to provide for. Like, I'm not here enough that I could own a dog. So a cat is where it's gonna go, I guess. Also, sometimes dogs are like too much for me and like I need some space. Our dogs do that, but I don't see them every day because obviously I don't live in my parents' house. So I figured a cat would be good, or to be a good option. And I did like my cat before. Unfortunately, she was very old, and then she like deteriorated very quickly in like the span of a week. So we were like, yeah, I think it's time to put you down. That shit was traumatizing. I was there when we put her down. I've never seen an animal be put down before. I didn't even see my first dog be put down. I was like, I can't handle that, because I love that. I was gonna say the B word, but she was not the B word. She was my angel, my daughter, my beloved. And now we're stuck with two freaks, so yeah. So I was like, you know, maybe an animal companion would make me feel better. Anyway, this is a tangent that is going to be going into, okay, I'm gonna go into why I've been talking about a cat. So today I was supposed to go cat shopping, but unfortunately the place was closed. So it's like a rescue place, but I guess since it's Memorial Day weekend, it was closed because I think the people who work in there are volunteers. So I was like, well, I guess I can wait another week to get a cat, because I don't want to go to like a not a community center, a pet rescue where like there's a bunch of animals or in cages, and then I'd feel bad, and then I'd want to get all of them. And then it made me feel bad, and they look all scruffy and gross, and I don't think I could handle that. Also, my dad came with me because I was like, I've never done this before, so I need some emotional support. Anyway, so I ended up getting this. And surprisingly, you know, this is from Walmart. Walmart kind of cooked with that. It was only $25. I think what I'm going to do is build it, and then I'm gonna put it by my bookshelf. And then over in this little space right here, I'm gonna move all this stuff. Don't mind the mess, sorry. I'm gonna move all that stuff and then get another, because this is just like a scratching post. So I'm thinking about getting like a bigger, like a cat tower that kind of like goes with the vibes of the room. I feel like, you know, the room's green, right? So I kind of want like green and pink. So hopefully I can find a cat tower that's either green, pink, or white, because that's like the color theme I got going on in here, I guess. Also, I have like, I feel like I have like natural stuff in here, because I got like these little, this right here. I got a plant over here, and I got some like trinkets and stuff. Yeah, so I got that. I also got like a little mat thingy for the food bowls. And then I got this thing. I think this thing's pretty cool. It's like a little wand, but it has different attachable thingies. I don't know if it's something that the cat would necessarily like, but it's got bells and it's like wiggly and stuff, so I don't know. But I also got some treats. I won't show those. I'll briefly show them. But I got 2 flavors because, you know, I don't know what this cat likes. The cat I'll potentially be getting. And then I got like a little ball thing, and then I got a little fruit mouse. My dad was with my dad. So he was doing this, hold on. He was doing this, like, you know how cats like, he was doing that, and it was funny. He was doing it in the store, and it was just funny. As you can tell, I'm very easily entertained. So I'm gonna be doing this, I'm gonna be building that, and then I'm gonna be finishing that mess over there. Cause it's been there for like the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. It's called lack of motivation. If you've heard of it, you understand the pain. So I think I'm gonna do that first, and then I'm gonna build that little scratching post, I guess. And then get back to you about, I'll get back to you about that book I've been reading. See you soon. Alright, so here is what we got. On top, those first couple books are gonna be like literary fiction-esque stuff, and then that flows into some manga. I don't know, I thought the colors looked good together, and then it kind of goes into Blood on the Tracks, which is more like horror-y, literary, sorta, and then it goes into a little bit of literary fiction right there, but it's kind of like thrillery, literary, horror-y, so I thought it kind of like fit the vibe of Blood on the Tracks. The only 3 I wouldn't say kind of fit that vibe are Orbital, The Beautiful and Damned, and The Nightingale. The rest of them, though, I feel like kind of fit with that vibe. Down here we have literary fiction, and I think what I was honestly going for here was like a color scheme, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it looks pretty good. There's a good flow there, especially with all the heights matching up, and then obviously the colors I feel like go well together, and like it's tied in multiple places. And then down here we go into some thriller and horror, last 3 books are fantasy, well, except for Yoke. But I felt like they fit the color scheme that I had going on. Honestly, the only book that really doesn't fit is the is Acceptance. But I don't know. I like it with all of them. I think it all fits together pretty well. Especially, I really like the middle section right there, because all those books match, I feel like, and they're all the same height, so that helps. And then down here we have some fantasy, and then honestly, this is just kind of a mix of young adult and adult, but I feel like the colors go pretty well together. There's a couple of those spines that I feel like don't really work, but I feel like for the most part it works. But I like the variety that I've had with all these shelves so far. And then down here we have some sci-fi, mostly Star Wars books, and then also some fantasy. I think these are more young adult, and then we also have some middle grades over there on the end. This shelf is not my favorite. I think that the middle stack is probably all that I really like about this shelf, but it's towards the bottom, so you can't really see it, so that's good. And then on the bottom we have that series, and then Sisters Grimm. I wish I could get those ugly ass stickers off the fucking spines, but I feel like I'd rip apart the cloth of the book, so guess I'll live with it. And then that last series is Warriors. Super obsessed with that in like 3rd grade. So I obviously had to keep that, you know. So that is the updated shelf, and then I'll do a little update on what I finished. So I did finish Bunny, and I do have to say I did like it more than the first time I read it. Out of all of her books that I've read, I think Bunny is my least favorite still. I did rate it a little bit higher than I did the first time I read it. I think the first time I read it, rated it 2 stars. Realistically, it's probably more like a 1. But this time around, I rated it 3. So I did appreciate her writing style more and how she delves into the characters and kind of female rage, morally gray characters. Yeah, I just respected it a little bit more after reading All's Well and Rouge. So that's that. I was gonna build the scratching post, but I'm honestly kind of exhausted and I just want to get this video edited and out. So I'm gonna wrap it up here, since I've accomplished quite a few things. I did both. I reorganized both shelves, which is pretty good. For the most part, this black one stayed pretty much the same, but I did change a couple things on there. So there's that. And then I did that little book haul. Those were accumulated over like the past 4 or 5 months, so it's not like I bought them all in one sitting. I am not rich, okay? And then I did finish Bunny. So I feel like this reset vlog actually worked out for me. So good for me. If you got this far into the video, go ahead and leave a bunny emoji for Bunny, or a bunny and a knife emoji. I feel like that would work for that book. Then, if you feel so inclined, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.